what you think this offense can be on Saturday for the most part?
For the most part, yeah. This offense really just comes down to executing what we need to do. When we did what we were supposed to do, I mean, we scored. I mean, now it just comes that we need to make sure we maintain that level of focus, that level of execution, and that's just a personal thing that we need to just drive home in everyone.
Matt, you guys have been talking about wanting what you see in practice to translate to the field. Do you feel like you took some positive steps in that regard this week?
We moved in the right direction, but we didn't move far enough. I mean, we still had mistakes that really should never happen in a game. And, I mean, it's turned to a point where you need to find a way that you're going to do your job, and you're going to do your job as perfect as you can. There's no excuses. You just have to find a way to get it done.
How about those mistakes? Is there one or two in particular that come to mind?
Just like alignment errors, false starts. I mean, those are things that just really shouldn't happen. I mean, we know what we're supposed to do, and those, like I was saying, it's just a lack of focus, and we just got to correct it, and I know we will.
Hey, Matt, it's hard to know unless you know what your assignments are when you watch film, like what happened on a play. Can you describe the last play offensively for you guys, the fourth down rollout with Noah, where I think the middle linebacker came through and then there was a hold. What happened there with the line? I mean, just how do you guys see that one when you watch film?
Just missed assignment. I'm trying to think of exactly what the protection is, but what it just comes down, like he got flushed out of the pocket by a pressure, and that pressure really shouldn't have happened. And so in doing so, it threw him off his rhythm, it threw everything off his game. And what it comes again, that's an MA on knowing who you have, knowing what you got to do, and those are things that you have to take personal, and you have to find a way to just get it done. It doesn't matter what's going on. It doesn't matter how you feel in the game. It doesn't matter if you feel a little banged up. Everyone's kind of banged up. You have to just have an intent and a drive to make sure that your job is going to be completed, and it's going to be completed as perfect as you can make it.
It's always taking next man up approach, but what does it say? You've seen three quarterback play, and you can talk about an offensive performance that was good, but be a little bit better, given that you played with your number 2 and number 3 quarterback for the entire afternoon.
I mean, they both did a great job. They're really, I don't really know how they could have really done it better themselves. I mean, they sold out and they did everything that was asked for them. I mean, it just we got to make sure that we continually give him as much time as possible, give him a clean pocket, and then on top of that, we need to make sure that our run game is as good as it can be, because honestly, all of our quarterbacks are great players, and they're really good at what they do, but we need to make sure that we can allow them to do what they do.
You guys grade out pretty high, 514 yards.
We did all right. Our grades really just come down to technique. I mean, we did a better job of getting our jobs done, staying on our man. It's just cleaning up the technique still. So I mean, G's also pretty picky on that, and which is a great thing. I mean, if it's not perfect, you're not getting a check mark on it, and that's one thing I really respect. If it's not perfect, it doesn't matter. He'll say you got the job done, but it can be better.
Was it one of your, before to get him better, one of your better games this season?
Yeah, we did a much better job finishing our blocks. Technique was still a little bit off, but for the most part, we did a much better job of just staying on our guys and driving guys off the ball.
I know there's 150 guys in the locker room, so it's hard to get a pulse for everybody, but what did you see as a general reaction to what Scott Frost said to you guys after the game and what he told the public?
Really, we just, like, it comes down to just being personal. I mean, take every rep personal. I mean, in practice, there can't be you can't ever relax. You can't ever take a play off. Like maybe, like I'm kind of tired. I'll go 75%. It needs to be 100% every time, because those little things, they add up and they will show. And those little, easing off the gas, those show up in the game. Those are what lead to the lack of focus. That's what leads to us making mistakes. And I mean, I think everyone kind of took it personal, and I mean, we know he's right, because we've hurt ourselves now. And I mean, we've hurt ourselves to losing it at least 2 games for sure. I mean, we just shot ourselves in the foot. When we needed it most, we lacked the focus to get it done. And I mean, I think people are we're finally kind of understanding like how and why we need to be so intent and so just focused on what we do.
Kind of a sense you get, Matt, on guys' ability to refocus right now. I mean, it's pretty clear you're 4-4 and there's 4 games left. What's out there for you and what you need to do?
I'd say it's getting a lot better. We've learned that, I mean, like I was saying, everything you do has to be intentional. Everything has to be driven. And I mean, even today, it was much better. Everyone made sure that their job was getting done. They didn't care what they had to do, but they were going to find a way to make sure they won and they did their job correctly.
And kind of playing off of that, specifically, how important is it for you guys to get to a bowl game?
It's as important as always. I mean, we don't want to stop playing football. We want to try and play football as long as we can. And with this team, you only get one shot. This team is the only team that's going to be like it. I mean, when the seniors are gone, the team's going to be different. And I mean, we love those guys all across the board, and we want to make sure we can kind of spend as much time and play together as long as we can, because there are some great guys there. And I mean, they've been working their tail off. They've been working as hard as they can, and they've been trying to set the example. And I mean, I personally, I want to make sure that they get that right.
Is it crucial for you guys to get those extra practices to go along with it for the program that you're going to be developing?
What do you?
Well, you guys get extra practices.
Oh yeah.
If you go to the bowl.
Oh yeah, those always help. I mean, the longer you get to play football, the more you get to execute and you get to work on the craft of the game. So I mean, those extra practices are as vital as anything.
Now, what has Wan'Dale's emergence has done for this offense as far as helping you maybe get a rhythm and a flow in the games that he's been able to do that?
I mean, he's a special character. I mean, it's been pretty evident ever since he even got here. I mean, he's a great worker. He's a hard worker, and I mean, he doesn't really have that freshman mentality of waiting. I mean, he wants to just attack, and he's going to find a way to make a play happen. I mean, it's pretty awesome when we do our job right and we get him out in the open field or we get him off the edge. I mean, there's not too many people that can really catch him. I mean, he's one of the fastest people I think I've ever seen. And when we get him to the right spot and use him properly and get him through the holes, I mean, good things happen.
And as a captain and upperclassman, what do you make of guys like Wan'Dale and other freshmen really speaking out after the game about the culture and
I mean, he's right. I mean, if it's not good enough, it's not good enough. It doesn't matter if you feel that it's not good enough, it's not good enough. I mean, in my opinion, there should never really be a doubt. If there's a doubt, it's not good enough. And so, I mean, he voices his thoughts and how he felt, and I mean, he's not wrong. I mean, if that's how he felt, that's how he feels, and that means we're not doing a good enough job of really keeping the culture and so, I mean, it is what it is, how he says it, and I know how we're moving, and I know how it's going. So, I mean, we're just going to keep working on it.